Welcome to Southern Wreaths. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel and be sure to give me a thumbs up. Today I'm going to show you how I made this really cute, super simple Halloween wreath. These are the supplies I'm going to use to make this wreath. I'm going to go ahead and start by gluing my sign together. I'm just going to modify this Dollar Tree sign. I'm going to use the hat on a different wreath, so I'm just going to trim that part away. And then I don't need this connected by the ribbon, so I'm just going to pull that out, and the staples come out really easy. If you have trouble getting them out, you can always use wire cutters. So I didn't have a permanent marker. You could either use a black marker, or like me, I went outside and just spray painted the side black. This isn't absolutely necessary, but it just makes it where when you put the signs together, it doesn't have like a light streak through it. It just helps it blend together. You could also go all the way around the sign if you wanted to. If I had a marker, I probably would have done that. But with having just the spray paint, I just spray painted the two sides. I just laid them flat on the ground and sprayed the side. That way I didn't get anything on the front. I'm going to use some Gorilla Glue hot glue. I'm going to make a line down the middle. And then I had an empty ribbon spool. And I'm just using the two like discs on either end of it, just as extra support to hold the signs together. You could use popsicle sticks or any kind of cardboard, paper, just anything just to give it, like, reinforce the back of it so it doesn't pop apart. Because you don't really want to put hot glue in between the seams because it'll like ooze out of the front. And I don't think just putting it on the back would hold it exactly the way you want it to. Just a great way to modify a sign that you might see all the time. Just makes it unique. That's what it looks like when it's done. Okay, I'm going to use a 14-inch wire frame, and I'm going to go ahead and add my pipe cleaners. I like to put a pipe cleaner on each crossbar for the center. I'm twisting 3 times pretty tightly. I don't want it to be loose. After I go around the center, I'm going to start on the outside. I just pick a random crossbar to start. I twist it 3 times, like inside. The only thing I do different is I lay it across the second from the outside bar, and where it ends is where I add my next pipe cleaner. Going all the way around on a 14-inch frame, it all lines up perfectly. If you're using a different size, it might not line up exactly the same, but you can mess around with it until you're happy with the way your wreaths turn out. I'm going to use 21-inch mesh. I'm just gathering it. I like to sometimes gather in the middle. This mesh was super thick, so gathering it from the side wasn't really an option. It was bowing in a funny way. So I just started in the center and just crunched it from the top and the bottom. Now I'm just going to attach it to the frame with a zip tie. I'm doing it like where a pipe cleaner is connected to the crossbar. And this is just because when I finish the wreath, it'll end inside the pipe cleaners that I've got this one attached to. So it'll be completely seamless. You won't see any gap. For this particular wreath, that's pretty important because I'm not adding anything except ribbon into the bundles or the pipe cleaners. So I'm going to do 12-inch poofs, and I'm just using my mat to measure. I like to create like a C with my hand and grab either end of the mesh and then just run it along until I get to the end of the mat. And then you kind of grab it just a little bit tighter, and then that's what you put inside the pipe cleaner. And then I like to poof it as I go. You don't have to do that. You can poof it at the end. Now I'll go around and finish doing the whole outside of the wreath. Once I get to my last poof, I'm just going to pull the pipe cleaner on either side of the zip tie section that I added to begin, and then just wrap it around my last poof, and that completes the outside row. Now I'm just going to go around and push the outside pipe cleaners out of the way and open my inside ones. This just makes it where you don't accidentally grab the wrong pipe cleaner. I have done that. And I'm just going to gather and pull it up to the closest one. And I'm just going to twist it once just to get it pulled to the center. You want to do it pretty tight because you don't want it to be any kind of poof. You just want it pulled to the middle. And now I'm just going to continue doing the 12-inch poofs around the outside, or the inside, I'm sorry. If anyone's interested in following me on social media, you can find me on Instagram at Southern Wreaths More, on Facebook at Southern Wreaths, and I also have a Facebook group called Southern Wreaths and More. I would love to see any of the wreaths you've made, especially if you do any based on my videos. That would be amazing. I also have all of these links in the description below. Once I get around to my last poof, I'm going to open the pipe cleaner that I originally pulled the mesh up to, and then just add the mesh in, the last poof in, and again, this creates a perfect seamless circle. And then I just like to trim it away and push it to the back. That's the easiest way for me to attach it to the frame. And then I just use a zip tie to finish it. If you're making this wreath for yourself, you don't necessarily have to have zip ties. Your pipe cleaners will probably hold it. But if you're selling them, you might want to think about using pipe cleaners so they don't come undone. Especially in shipping or when people store them, they don't want to pull them out and then things start coming apart. Alright, after I finish making my poofs, I'm going to go through and kind of pull stuff out and fluff everything really nice so there's no holes that are like extremely visible. And then I'll move on to my ribbon. I'm using this Hobby Lobby ribbon. This is not the best ribbon. I'm going to link it down below. It's not very good ribbon, but I really love the colors with this wreath. And I'm just using my 12-inch piece of cardboard to wrap the ribbon around. I like to wrap it around 7 times, and then you can just slide your scissors in and cut. But this particular ribbon, it kind of frays on the ends. If you have any of that fray check or whatever that stuff is that you put on the end to keep it from doing that, you could probably use it. As long as you don't mess with it too much, it doesn't look too bad, but it is not my favorite ribbon by far. So I went through and dovetailed all of that and finished cutting my ribbon. I'm using a jack-o'-lantern ribbon, this orange and black stripe ribbon with glitter, and then the black and white that you saw me cut a second ago. And then just to start my bundles, I fold it in half, find the middle, crease it, pinch it together, and then add that into my pipe cleaner. And then I like to roll it down with a glue stick, and then I'll fluff my ribbon. And I like to go ahead and stack my ribbon the way I'm going to add it into the wreath. You don't have to do that. I just find it faster. Here, I'll show you again how I add it. And it's folded in half, crease it, open it, pinch it. You can either open your pipe cleaner or you don't have to. It's up to you. I find when you want your ribbon to really sink into your wreath, you'll open the pipe cleaners. If you kind of want it to stand out more, you just put it on top. It really doesn't make that big of a difference. I haven't noticed a bigger difference. I didn't have a ton of the jack-o'-lantern ribbon, so I kind of put it like sporadically throughout the wreath. But I really wanted to use it with this wreath. I like having a little bit of contrast. It's not just all the stripes. And then I'm just showing you how I do the outside. I do it exactly the same way as the inside, except when I fluff, I don't make so much as an X as I make like a bow tie shape, where it's straight across on the top and then out, flared out on the bottom. So I decided to add this deco mesh ribbon. I should have added it before I added my regular ribbon. I didn't think about it. I actually forgot. But I'm just going through with some half pipe cleaners and attaching it to the frame. You see there, I kind of shoved it through the mesh. You don't have to do that, but I figured with the first piece that I was doing, I felt more comfortable knowing that it wasn't going to go anywhere. And then I'm just kind of figuring out how I want it to lay. And the good thing is you can tuck it under the ribbon you already have there. I just thought this was a neat idea to add a little bit more color and contrast to your wreath. You can add a lot more if you want. You could actually go around each poof and add it in. And this, I'm just twisting this around the mesh ribbon. You don't have to stick it through like you did at the beginning. And I'm just pushing it back to the frame, pulling it down from the back, and then twisting it. Alright, once I'm done with that, I decided to go ahead and add my sign before I add my ornaments. So I like to take a cushion, like this half of a, ribbon, ribbon cardboard. This just keeps the staples from sticking all the way through. Dollar Tree signs are super thin. But I'll do that on either side. And then I'm just going to push the pipe cleaner through to the back. With this particular one, I could just go through the center hole in the back and then attach it to the frame when I'm happy with the way it's positioned. And I'll do that on either side. And there are lots of different ways to add your signs. This is just the way that I find that I don't have any problems with anything popping off ever. I don't think I've ever had a sign pop off using the staples. I have with hot glue. And with E6000 actually, but it was a metal sign, so that might be why. But here I'm just showing you how I twist it and then I tuck it away. And then I'll just go through and kind of fluff the ribbons from the back of the sign and make sure that anywhere there's like a really big gap of orange, I have it kind of filled in. The tops off and add hot glue just to make sure it's not going to come off after I attach it to the wreath. I don't find like Walmart ones or Hobby Lobby ones, I don't find they pop off easily. These didn't really pop off super easy, but just in case I wanted to make sure they weren't going to come undone. And then after I added hot glue to all the tips and they dry, I'm just using half a pipe cleaner through the ornament hook part and twisting it around. And then I will stick that through the mesh wherever I want to add the ornament and attach it to the back of the frame. And if you wanted to use a full pipe cleaner, you could. You would just put it through and not go all the way through. You would just put it through halfway. And then you'd have two pieces to thread through and attach to the frame. I think adding ornaments is a fun way to do something a little different, to add a little more texture to your wreaths. That's it. That's how I made my really super simple Halloween poof wreath. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, or you can always email me at craftingwithlee@yahoo.com. Thank y'all so much for watching. If y'all have learned anything today, or if you like my videos, please like, share, subscribe, and give me a thumbs up. Thank you.